Ruminating about a misconduct banner's approach to my Wikipedia pages. Today is Saturday for April 2026, and here I, Tanis, shareholders of Seattle, ruminate about a misconduct banner's approach to my Wikipedia pages. That is, any Wikipedia pages about me having banners on them saying the user me is not allowed to have articles about them due to repeated misconduct. Yeah, that'd be like if I go to prison. So I'm serving 2 eternity bans on Wikipedia because I spoke out. I was sexually harassed. That's not quite right. I was attacked because of my sexual orientation, so I was harassed, and they said I was being disruptive, kind of stereotypical sexual orientation discrimination and harassment, and so they banned me twice for eternity. And so I was like, well, why don't, if we're going to go all the way and the platform wants to take responsibility, make clear. So I have last time I checked, which was how many years ago now, they had a user page and a user talk page. And it's allowed to be edited by anybody, including you. But actually that's not true because they blocked me from editing it. So the person the page is not about is not allowed to edit it. And that's been true for, that started in June 2023. And so there's a little bit, in that sense, it might be like, it's like being in prison. It might be useful to know what a person's in prison for. It would be good to put on the top of those pages, perhaps, like, that the person is even if I were let back in, a kind of thing, to editing. I was like, I take responsibility for my actions. They didn't. Right? I am superior in that way. Why don't we actually, if you actually want me Wikipedia, why don't we put that at the top of my pages? How I am better. I was blocked. My misconduct was a self-defense. Right? Disruption in the form of self-defense, defending myself against harassment and discrimination. I would love to have that banner. I'm sure they would too, right? There's at least one good Wikipedia editor, if only one. And then also being like, and because she fought back, she's not allowed to have articles about her, it's the nature of the platform. That's why we blocked her in the first place. Not just once, but twice for eternity. Each time for eternity. It actually has the infinity symbol. So I think it's in line with what they want and what they've communicated multiple times. I think that was in 2023. The first one was communicated, the second one in 2024. So multiple counted years. I hope they can grow up. I hope I can grow up and accept responsibility for my actions, right? So I'm putting this out there. It's not an idea they're putting out there. It's my own idea, my own original, a Tanis original, a Tanis original. And I like this one, that it's the spirit and beating heart of Wikipedia and Wikipedia articles is about muzzling the person the article is about and taking their voice away. And that's really true, I think, on user pages. It's all about, the user hosting other people who want to say things about them, letting other people edit it, right? If that wasn't true, they wouldn't have blocked me from editing my own page, right? So it's about coercing me into the role of host, right, and making it as non-consensual as possible, in terms of them violating my rights. And so I don't consent, but they don't really freaking care. Nor have they ever. And they made me a very strong stance on that repeatedly. And the world can change in an instant. I could go down to dinner tonight. My parents might tell me, Tanis, you got to move out. We're selling the house to your sister and her family. Right? My sister and her family have multiple homes in Washington State, are kind of always searching for another house. And then they really like the neighborhood. So, you need to move out, honey. But they probably won't say honey, but it's time for you to move on. And so I'm like, this is related in the sense of this is my tie-in. So I was like, it's where from my perspective, it's where their blocks, their banning me came from. It was completely out of the blue, right? They picked a fight because of my sexual orientation, harassed me out of the blue, completely uncalled for from my perspective, multiple times, multiple years, 2023, 2024. And so there's a little bit of they don't want me to stay. And that's kind of what I'm getting at here with my parents is the entire time we've lived here, they've always talked about selling the house or like, you know, moving on from this property. And yeah, I get they don't like it, right? They always change stuff. If you're always changing stuff, you don't really like something, you don't really want to stay. And I was like, I would love to go to prison with, you know, we're talking like a 6 or 7 year sentence. At no point in the entirety of my existence have I been given the stability of I can call a place home for 6 to 7 years. My parents have not ever provided that for me currently as a stay-at-home daughter, nor when I was growing up. I was like, watch prison become more of a home than this house ever has been. All right. So there's a little bit of, being a stay-at-home daughter has really reopened my perspective to like, prison could be a sanctuary for me and allow me my first chance of really developing a sense of what home means. I edited it on Wikipedia, and clearly it's not a home for me. It hasn't ever provided me with stability or anything. That would come from the misconduct banners and the only person being allowed to edit my pages, any page about me, being me. Which they certainly are not committed to. Remove those people's edits on my page. Like, they harassed and discriminated against me, and they wrote on my own pages, right? The ones about me, they were like, let's make shit up about you. They're just like, well, how stereotypical non-Native Americans imposing you must host me on this Native American. All right. I'm Euro-Native American, so not full Native American. I will distinguish that. I was like, it's a good one. Right, is home can mature in different places, and I haven't had that stability at all in my life in a residence at the like 6 or 7 year time frame. So take this all with a grain of salt, so to speak. I am no authority about my own life. So I was ruminating about a misconduct banner's approach to my Wikipedia pages.